What if I told you that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle may have just lost one of their last real allies inside the royal family? That's right, Princess Eugenie, the cousin who stood by them through thick and thin, might finally be turning. And not just quietly stepping away, but possibly throwing her full support behind Prince William and King Charles. This isn't just another royal rift. This could be the final nail in the coffin for Harry and Meghan's ties to the crown. We're talking about a subtle but powerful shift that's been building behind the scenes for months, maybe even years. And now it's bubbling up to the surface. From public snubs to secret strategy meetings to a surprising royal appointment that nobody saw coming. It's all pointing in one direction. Eugenie is picking a side, and it's not the Sussexes. So, what changed? Why now? Is this a betrayal or a smart survival move in a royal game that's all about timing, power, and legacy? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear isn't just juicy royal gossip. It's a look into how the future of the monarchy is being shaped in real time, and why Princess Eugenie may be playing a much bigger role than anyone expected. This story might just change the way you see the entire royal family. Princess Eugenie has always kept a low profile in royal circles. She wasn't making headlines, she wasn't stepping on toes, and that worked in her favor. It allowed her to move between royal camps without attracting too much attention. For a long time, she was seen as the one member of the family who still had a genuine, warm relationship with Prince Harry after his exit. She even visited him in California. People thought, if anyone could keep a foot in both worlds, it would be Eugenie. But now, that balance is starting to tip, and it's tipping hard. Eugenie has been increasingly seen alongside Prince William at high-profile events, royal garden parties, charity outings, even private receptions. These aren't just friendly appearances. These are strategic. These are placements. Because in the royal family, nothing, absolutely nothing, is ever by accident. If you're standing next to the heir to the throne at a formal event, it's because someone higher up wants you to be there. It sends a message. And the message here? Eugenie is back in the royal fold. She's also been appointed as a mentor in King Charles' 35 Under 35 initiative, a major sign of trust from the top. This kind of role isn't ceremonial. It means she's being seen as a role model, a representative of the crown's future. That's a huge shift from the old narrative, where the York sisters were considered expendable, sidelined by Charles's streamlined monarchy plan. But now, with Harry and Meghan gone and key senior royals aging or facing health challenges, the palace is rethinking everything. You see, the royal bench is running thin. King Charles is in his mid-70s, Princess Anne is in her 70s, the Duke of Gloucester, nearly 80. Even Prince Edward and Sophie, who've stepped up recently, are well into their 60s. The working royal family is getting older, and fast. That's why Eugenie and Beatrice are suddenly back in the picture. Not because they changed, but because the circumstances did. And let's be real, Harry and Meghan left a giant hole. They didn't just step away from duties, they burned bridges on the way out. From Oprah to Netflix to that memoir bombshell, they made it very clear they were done playing by royal rules. But here's the thing, they also took away a chunk of the monarchy's public appeal. They were the younger, modern faces, and now that they're gone, there's a vacuum. So, who can fill it? That's where Eugenie and Beatrice come in. They're royals by blood, relatively young, well-spoken, and already somewhat known to the public. They've lived normal jobs, they're educated, and they come without as much drama. But for years, they were blocked, not because of who they were, but because of who their father is. Let's not forget, Prince Andrew's scandals have cast a long shadow over his daughters, and that's been their biggest roadblock. But even that seems to be shifting. The palace is slowly drawing a line between the sins of the father and the potential of the daughters. And Princess Eugenie in particular seems ready to step up. But what about Harry and Meghan? Well, their relationship with Eugenie appears to have cooled. Sure, they had some cozy moments in the past. Photos at Frogmore, dinners in LA, brief cameos in Meghan's documentary, but those days seem long gone. Eugenie hasn't been seen publicly with them in over 2 years. Sources say the connection has soured, and that she's being much more careful about who she aligns with. And it's not hard to understand why. Every time Harry and Meghan drop a new podcast, a new interview, a new accusation, it creates waves, and those waves hit the entire family. Being associated with that kind of media chaos makes it nearly impossible to be taken seriously inside the institution. You become a liability, not an asset. And Eugenie, she knows where her future lies. Being close to Prince William, especially as he prepares to take the throne someday, is a smart move. He's stable, focused, and has the long-term vision that the monarchy needs. And with Kate Middleton battling a serious health issue, William may need all the support he can get, both publicly and privately. Eugenie can help fill that gap, quietly, efficiently, respectfully. Some might call this a betrayal of Harry and Meghan, but others would call it survival. Because in the world of royalty, loyalty only gets you so far. What really matters is positioning. And Eugenie appears to be positioning herself for long-term relevance within the system that still holds power, the crown. And if you're wondering whether Beatrice is part of this shift too, the answer is yes, maybe more quietly, but definitely. Both sisters have been showing up at more events, working with private secretaries again, and building up the kind of presence that makes it easy for the palace to say, yes, we could use you. And the truth is, they do need them. Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis are still children. It'll be at least a decade before they're ready for public duty. William didn't start working full-time until he was in his 30s, and that was during a time when there were still many older royals to carry the weight. Today, that support system is fading fast. If the monarchy is going to survive another generation, it needs reinforcements now. And Eugenie and Beatrice are right. They're experienced, eager, and connected. But let's also talk about the other women in the firm. Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, is one of the most hardworking royals out there, but she doesn't always get the attention she deserves. Part of that might be public interest, part of it might be style. Because yes, like it or not, fashion plays a big role in royal visibility. Queen Elizabeth understood this. Her bold colors made her instantly recognizable. People remembered her. And that made every engagement feel important. If Sophie leaned into that more, updated her look, took a few more style risks, she might start getting the kind of press attention that supports the entire institution. Because in today's world, appearances aren't just superficial, they're strategic. So what happens next? Is Eugenie going to become a full-time working royal? Is Beatrice about to step up too? And will King Charles officially bring them into the fold despite the past shadows of their father? That's where things get really interesting. So where does all this leave us? Princess Eugenie may not have released a press statement or made a dramatic announcement, but her actions speak louder than any interview ever could. She's showing up, stepping in, and slowly aligning herself with the very institution Harry and Meghan walked away from. And in the world of royalty, that's not just a shift, it's a message. It tells us that even the most private royals are now making their choices. Siding with the crown is no longer just a family decision, it's a strategic one. And Eugenie seems to understand that, especially in a time where the monarchy is desperate for fresh, trustworthy, and relatable faces to carry it into the future. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are left further on the outside looking in. As they continue to make headlines in California, their influence within the royal circle seems to fade more and more with each passing season. And if Eugenie, once considered their closest in-house supporter, is quietly moving on, what does that say about their standing with the rest of the family? The future of the monarchy is being reshaped right now, piece by piece. And figures like Eugenie, Beatrice, and even Sophie could become more critical than anyone predicted. Not just because of their titles or bloodlines, but because they're willing to step in, willing to represent, and willing to serve. The next few years will be pivotal. King Charles is navigating health concerns. Princess Kate is recovering. Out of the spotlight, Prince William is being positioned to lead a modern monarchy, and all of it will depend on who surrounds them, who's trustworthy, who's stable, and who's truly committed to the future of the firm. So now we ask, will Charles officially bring Eugenie and Beatrice back into the fold? Will William continue to include them in his vision for a modernized monarchy? Or will the ghost of their father's past continue to block their path? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, the royal chessboard is shifting again. And Eugenie's move may just be the most unexpected and most important of them all. If you've made it this far, tell me what you think in the comments. Has Princess Eugenie truly cut ties with Harry and Meghan? Is this all about loyalty? Or about legacy? And do you believe the York sisters could actually help save the monarchy's public image? Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications. because this royal story is far from over. Trooping the color, future engagements, potential reappearances, it's all building towards something much bigger. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with even more royalty. Until then, stay curious, stay classy, and stay tuned.